Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new and improved Indy Force. I know we've only been around for like 2 episodes to this point, but fuck it.
What's up, faggots?
Yeah. What he said.
What are you do here?
How do you fucking faggot?
How do you find this channel? Who allowed you to come here and listen to our voices?
I thought this place was abandoned.
This part of YouTube should not exist. You fucking cunts.
I could say the same for you.
You bitch.
You
There must be 2 tones in that room when they record their camera phone.
You are wrong. It's 3 tones.
3 tons of bullshit.
It's like
And I weigh
That's
2.
after being done on the pot on Tuesday.
And I weigh 2.5.
The fucking rest of it.
I'm the other half.
Anyway, let's get started. We are going to be reviewing some. We wanted to review NXT and NWA, but we realized
let's just really slip it up this as fast as possible. None of us had the time of day to watch NXT, and that's pretty bad.
we'll have more.
Anyway.
You know what's the sad part is? We're going to be able to watch NXT easier when it goes on to the USA Network.
I'm gonna still look at it and go,
Nah.
your logo sucks.
I mean, no shit.
yes.
That's the one Vince McMahon creation that stayed.
You know what was better?
But at least the show is good.
You know what was better?
ECW.
OVW.
Yeah.
You know what was better? FCW. Run by fucking Jim Cornette. Florida Championship
He
Wrestling.
wasn't. Well, that
Yeah,
was
he-
run by Gabe Sapolsky, I think. I don't know. We could debate on who ran that abysmal fucking territory all day long. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that.
Like,
In the words of Tony here,
with Ohio
in the
Valley
words-
Wrestling, though.
I can't agree with you on that. With Florida, Antonio Cesaro, where careers go to die. His exact words. Except his career is still dead.
Florida
even though he's out of the
Championship-
development.
Florida Championship Wrestling. There is always a Florida man, and it's the entire crowd called Florida Man. And Florida Man will not only rob your house, but he will totally steal your children and put them into his covenant.
I
I'm just waiting.
believe it's pronounced Biggie Langston.
I believe it's called Big Black Cunt.
Whoa.
I also think it's called What's Up, Pussy Lips?
Whoa. Whoa.
I'm just
listen,
waiting for the day.
far.
Listen, if...
That's a little far.
Listen. If he was on an island, and I was on an island with him, he is food to me.
Okay. Why?
Because...
We're not in it, so we're not in.
Because, listen,
There's enough there to feed a small village.
No one asked you.
thank you for helping my cause. You could feed at least a family off the amount of meat that he has on his bones.
Would you eat the white meat or the dark meat?
I wouldn't eat
In
any.
fact, it's all dark.
I wouldn't eat any of that meat.
He's getting blacker and blacker. He's got vitiligo.
I wouldn't. Yo, I wouldn't.
We're gonna
yo,
get fucking criticized.
I wouldn't eat any of that meat. Too much steroids.
Yeah, fair point. No, can I tell you why you want to eat it? So that way you can fight the bull sharks. You can fight them in an underwater wrestling match. Oh, he brought him into the coral reef. He's grinding his face into the coral.
Oh, he pinched him
Power
in the
bombed him
nose.
off the top of the island.
Jesus
He
Christ.
brought him into the volcano. It's a volcano match.
Okay.
First to fall into the volcano loses.
Okay.
First to fall in the volcano mix the
Here's what we're
appeasement
gonna
to the gods.
do. Here's what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. Okay. We're gonna have AEW and NXT go head to head. NXT is jumped to start next week.
NXT
So
also
that
jumped to
is
start
when we
terrible.
will be reviewing NXT.
Also,
I will
NXT
review
fucking
NXT.
jump to start bad. Because
Yeah.
trying to
obviously.
come after TakeOver, it's like, that's hard.
Yeah, that
Well, it's
That
not.
was
all right.
bad.
First
that was
off,
horseshit.
that's not. Let's separate NXT USA and
You cannot.
NXT UK.
Let me ask you a question. Can you separate Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah.
No, because it's WWE.
Well,
brand.
if you do it right.
No, you can't.
You can't do it right.
Oh my God, I get it. It's WWE affiliated.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you can't separate because one's in one country, one's in another. If there's a New Japan USA, and there's a regular New Japan Pro Wrestling, it's
New
still
Japan's
New Japan.
alright, yeah, but New Japan's always under one umbrella anyway. They're not like NXT where they are trying to splinter off into different territories.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is NXT and NXT UK are
Look,
still
we're gonna
under
have
the
this
same...
debate until the cows come home.
No,
if you don't want to watch, don't watch
I
it.
am not trying to make a debate on it. I'm literally just trying to say...
Yeah, we got enough to
Just
debate.
I'm trying to say
Wrong.
I'm trying to just say one thing. They're still under the banner of NXT, whether it's overseas or not. So you have to judge both shows as a singular thing because they are run by the same company.
I don't. I prefer NXT USA than NXT UK because it's run better.
Sure.
And you can do that. But they're still the same thing.
No, they're not.
Honey, you didn't even watch the show. Stop trying to get on people's fucking shit list every 10 seconds, you. You're like the fucking...
I'm trying to help you.
She's the Goldo of the group.
But you don't know about wrestling, so how much...
Exactly. I don't care.
Okay,
I'm
then
just
don't
trying to be
don't
helpful.
comment.
You're not being helpful. You're trying to start a wedge.
What kind of wedge? Potato wedge?
No, sweet potato.
Is that potato wedge named Dave Meltzer? I would have to assume so because
Oh, God.
What a segue! Jesus Christ!
What a segue, oh my lord.
All right.
Tried.
We're just gonna
You got
start.
so far. You tried so hard.
but in the end it didn't even matter.
No, we're still
No, 'cause we're-
talking about Biggie Langston on the island. Where he should belong.
No,
We
we're.
should put him on an island and leave him there.
Well, then you'll be with him too.
New
Yeah,
season.
but I will sacrifice myself.
New
in
season
order
of
to get
Survivor.
one monster of professional
New season of
wrestling
Lost.
out of it.
New season of Survivor featuring Biggie Langston.
Jesus Christ!
Anyway,
Biggie Langston versus Nature. Nature will win because there's not enough steroids for him to take.
Well, I mean, he's already.
For-
I mean, he's already dead because he doesn't have Twitter, and Twitter's like his bread and butter.
Hey, you know how Biggie Langston loses if something gets onto his back? He's fucked because he can't grab
I
it.
just realized he's actually
Pokemon is on my
Big E,
back.
and his name is
Jumped on
legit
your back.
Florida
Would
Man on
you
Twitter.
Beat him off or let him stay there?
Oh my
For
god!
what?
If a fag jumped on your back, would you beat him off or let him stay there?
Well, so
I
much
think
for your
I'm gonna beat
segment.
off
Can we
anybody.
actually? All right.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go straight into it. So yeah, we're just gonna go through the news topics and debate topics. First, the debate. So Dave Meltzer thought that the Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers, as good as that match was, should have main evented All Out over their first world title match purely because of its match quality. Dumb or valid?
I disagree.
I highly disagree.
I highly
abs-
disagree.
absolutely.
Okay, so there's not much of a debate.
Can
Why
I
did I
ask-
call it a debate
Can,
again?
can I at least explain one major thing? And I can see the side that goes, that should have been the main event because it's a fucking ladder match. If
Yeah,
that's
go.
If that's going to end up pay-per-view, it should. But it's the fact that it's not the World Heavyweight Championship title.
It's not even their tag title.
No, but I don't care what anybody says.
You're crowning your first world heavyweight champion that same night.
All these
The
pay-per-views
world-
have been leading
no
up
matter what show it is, the World Heavyweight title either becomes second to main event or main event because it's the World Heavyweight title of that brand.
This is the number one on this brand.
Yep.
Even if Jerry the King Lawler says it, it has to be true.
Yep.
Because he's had 137 of those fucking titles under his banner.
Yeah, that is true.
137-time World Heavyweight Champion.
Across just about as many different
As
promotions.
many territories as humanly possible at one time.
Yeah.
That is the main event match. Because you might have come there to go see the fucking tag team match. You might have came there to see the Intercontinental. You might have came to see there to be the fucking United States title. That's fine. Or the flyweight division or any of that shit.
That's fine.
But the World Heavyweight title should be the most important belt in the show.
Absolutely.
Which is why I believe in the concept of Macho Manning all your promos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter
of course.
what, even if you're the Intercontinental Champion, you should be trying to stir up as much shit with the World Heavyweight Champion until he says,
Absolutely.
fuck it, fine, let's go. Get in the ring and put my title on the line. Fuck it.
Show me what you got.
Another thing I'd like
Show
to
me
add.
your moves.
Not only
yeah.
not only should the world title main event, especially if it's your first time crowning
It
said
should
world
it's the
champion.
it should be the main event or some.
It should
unless
be
it's
either
a blood feud that's going on.
the
for a
only
year,
thing
it
that
needs
should
to
go
be the main
over the
event.
world
It's a different
title.
story.
over main event and it stays in a semi-main position is if it's one of their belts. Here's the problem. This is the AAA tag titles.
This is a completely different country, let alone a different brand.
Different company.
I have one thing to say that makes more sense if you're not knowing what we're talking about from this perspective and you've lived in the, I hate to say, the WWE bubble.
Yeah.
What's more important, the World Heavyweight title or the streak? I'm talking about before it was broken. What's more important?
It was definitely the streak.
And that's why-
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was
and
the
that's
streak.
why that was main event. Because it's the fucking streak. It is the most well-kept thing in professional wrestling.
Even though it was completely by accident, like 3/4 of the way through.
But it's the streak. It's one of those things of, I've never been defeated at this event ever.
Until Brock Lesnar.
Until Lesnar came in, because Lesnar has to win everything, because he's the kid with fucking Legos that pretends that he's Godzilla to knock everything down, because his dick is so small that his gigantic ape-like muscles allow him to have one thing, and that's a wife that's the equivalent of a fucking Barbie doll now.
Jeez. I don't even think it's a good
For some
one.
reason, he needs
Have
to have
you
a
seen
belt.
Sable? She looks rough.
James, the last time I saw Sable was in between the leather handbags, and I got confused at the local Sears. If I don't know why you would want to date a
You're
woman.
the pipe bomb problem.
I wouldn't want to look at a woman every single day and ask, if I melted her down, do I decide to bring her to the garbage heap, or do I bring her the recycling?
Jesus.
Or the
She's got enough,
compost.
because she's got enough. She's either full of so much shit. Her personality is garbage, and she's got enough plastic on her that you could easily fucking keep a house warm for 50 years.
I mean, you're not wrong, but all right. This is
Just like
Lesnar and Sable aside.
Damn it!
This is about.
I fell.
This is about
I've
Meltzer.
McFallen.
Oops! Drop your phone.
Continue.
With Meltzer, this was a bad move on your part, dude.
Like, seriously.
Bad move.
Do I agree that in terms of match quality, the Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers had the better match? Absolutely. It was incredible.
But to be,
If you even wanted to point out that because it was second to last, it hurt the flow of the main event. Totally could understand that. Could see that point even. That's not what you said. You said they should main event over the world title, and not only did you not backtrack that statement out of the heat of the moment, you doubled down, and you still stick by it, and now you're blocking and ranting on people who disagree with you.
now, okay.
Doesn't sound like a guy without a fucking agenda to me when it comes to the Young Bucks.
Let me say this. I've never met Dave Meltzer. I would not want to fight Dave Meltzer because he's
None of us
jacked
have.
like a fucking monster. He's huge. But I will say this. He has an opinion and he has a right to an opinion. Even if his opinion is skewed. It's
Yeah.
not 100% accurate because it's the fact of, I agree. It's a very good match. It's not a 5-star match because there's a couple spots in there that you
Yeah.
still
Doesn't really make it. But
Chris Dodd kind of. Oh no, I'm sorry.
John
John
Tutty,
Tutty
yeah.
brought it out the most during that when we were doing the actual
yeah,
reaction to
and
it.
even then, one of them you can kind of forgive because they were both on opposite sides of the ring.
True.
But one of them was they were literally looking at
Yeah.
each
each
Yeah,
other in the
exactly.
ring.
Yeah,
That's
that's
stupid.
stupid. That
But
that
it's
makes
still
no
it's
sense
still the fact that
whatsoever.
he's Dave Meltzer. He's been reviewing and looking at wrestling from not only the outside but the inside for
For like
20
30, almost 30 years at this point.
30 to almost 25 to almost 30 years. He's been doing this for
here's where that becomes a problem now with him having personal biases and him having an opinion based on those personal biases. This dude is supposed to be known as the insider journalist, the go-to, the Wrestling Observer, right? How are you supposed to maintain any credibility when you go and say something as stupid as that, even if it is your opinion? Because I'm sorry, under no circumstances would any of us in that same position main event Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks over quite arguably the biggest star that you have in the fucking company to win your world title.
Two of them.
Correct.
Yeah, and Hangman
Because
pays too.
Hangman's had about almost 5 pay-per-views to build.
But still,
get
Jericho
over
is
his
a
character
bona fide
plus-
legend.
Yeah, the man has name value everywhere he goes.
Why didn't you just... he could have worded it so much better, but he sucks up to the Young Bucks.
I will say this.
And it makes him lose so much credibility.
I will say this. He has a specific repertoire when it comes to... Repertoire?
Either one works.
It doesn't matter, either way. But it's more the fact of... If he really likes the Young Bucks work, that's fine. It's the example. You will never change Jim Cornette's mind of how wrestling should be. It's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
No matter how
Yeah, of
hard you
course.
try, he'll always say, I dislike modern wrestling. I don't like it. It's like, well, that's his opinion.
And he doesn't even dislike all modern wrestling, but...
He doesn't like the
certain
Bucks.
things
He doesn't like Kenny Omega. He doesn't like a lot of the guys that are big draw names. He doesn't like, and I don't either. Joey Ryan, I never understood that fucking gimmick, and I never will. But it's simplistic, like, it's stupid little things that can make somebody that has reviewed, been a part of, or at least has saturated their life with professional wrestling to change their viewpoint specifically because of it. So I don't know. I'm not going to fucking give him a slap on the wrist and say
No, because he doesn't deserve one.
he doesn't deserve one.
And
But-
there's no point
But
to
he
it anyway.
has a right to his own opinion,
Of course.
and I think you're only giving him more attention by constantly drawing this out.
No, this is the last time I'm mentoring him.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm not even going to cite his work. I trust No DQ more than I trust the Observer
I don't
now.
trust any news source unless it comes from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, it's always the case.
I'm just saying, professional
But-
wrestling is about making
but
fake news.
You gotta take into everything into
For
consideration.
years.
So he did that. He that's what he said about the Young Bucks match. Then he went and rated it 5 1/4 star. So it was a 1/4 star less good, and that's what everybody's throwing in my face. Oh well, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso and Adam Cole, they got 5.5 stars. So obviously he's not biased. Don't throw that in my fucking face. Because how many matches has he rated over 5 star for fucking Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks over the last decade alone?
Yeah.
He gave Omega a 6-star how long ago?
Like fucking 5,
and
like
almost
3 years ago.
and almost a 7-star the
And
year after
no,
that.
it was a 7-star, 7.2 actually. 7.2 stars to Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada, but you know, I guess Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle in 03 didn't deserve that, right?
Don't
You know,
ask.
and it's that shit, and it's shit like that that makes him lose credibility, and then to top it all
I
off.
can already hear the comments section below, or if there is.
I don't give a
anybody
fuck.
that's
Go ahead and hate us. It's nothing new.
But okay. Well, this needs to at least be said because we are talking about one thing, which is Benoit and fucking Angle.
Well, no, I only mentioned that as
I know.
as a wrestling thing.
You gave the example. We have to go into a little bit of it. Of nobody will ever deny that
I don't.
both of those men are incredible workers, but they have both of them, including one of them more than the other, have a lot of demons, and one of them has to sort it out bad.
Yeah, but that my point is, this is my
I'm saying
point.
now.
That's not even that's
Yeah, now.
that's regardless
You're
of
saying
that, and we all unanimously agree with that. Like Buck Benoit for what he did, obviously, but I'm talking about in that moment in 2003. Meltzer rated that I think 4 3/4, not even 5. But he'll rate Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada in 2014 6 stars, and then
hold on.
3 years later
Let
7.2.
me ask you a question. What else was out at the time in 2003 besides WWE as a main property?
He watched New Japan then too.
Yes, and what was the big thing going on at the same time?
DNA? Maybe?
TNA was just finding its footing.
I don't know.
No.
ECW had been
ECW
closed for a couple
folded.
of years by
It
that
doesn't-
point.
It wouldn't even matter.
I'm saying there was only 2 major, besides AAA.
It was WWE New Japan.
WWE and New Japan were 2 of the big ones in 2003. That's literally it.
But he still...
Now you have a lot more ground that you can cover, and now you get to see more of the athletic side of professional. I hate to say it, but fucking nowadays professional wrestling is athletic as hell. These are guys that are doing like 630 fucking moonsaults because their body has been trained to do this crazy shit. Where the moonsault isn't a big thing anymore. the fucking shooting star press is impressive, but it's not a match.
Then you got guys doing like 630 splashes, yeah. But I mean, it's still good. I just wish that I get what you're saying. I feel like you need to blend in. Maybe that's what he is. He's just a match pace guy. But why? But I don't.
I think that then
not that
Jericho
Omega doesn't have good personality, and not that Okada never did, because Omega does. Omega does, and Okada does leaps and bounds.
Can we also say Okada is hilarious trying to speak English?
Yeah.
Well, it's like when
at least he's trying, though.
Yeah, points for trying, but dude, your voice just does not work with English.
when I look at those matches, and then the Benoit and Eddie matches, and I'm not that Benoit was ever really good on the mic, except with the exception of being WCW. He was actually good in WCW, and here's why. Everyone tried to compare him to Ric Flair because he was teamed up with Ric Flair and Horseman. And it was like, he wasn't bad. He's no Ric Flair, but nobody's going to ever be Ric Flair.
I can't believe I'm going to be
Except Jay Lethal.
I'm going to be quoting
True.
this one fucking game that has him in it, which is WCW Nitro.
That was bad script, though.
No. I love this line, though. Silent but violent. Get in the ring and find out what it's all about.
Yeah.
That was Benoit's entire character, was getting in the ring and seeing what you could do against him. And by the way, his best promo is against Elijah Burke.
True.
In
yeah.
WWE CW?
No, that was a different promo.
No, it's him and Elijah Burke for the fucking, I think, the U.S. title.
It might have been. I don't
And
remember.
he fucking beats him in 23 seconds, and he goes and makes a coffee and then comes back on. By the time he gets...
No, that was Orlando Jordan.
Oh, yeah, it was Orlando Jordan. I always get them confused because they look like relatively similar.
Yeah.
Well, especially since they both had dreadlocks later in their life. Anyway.
Oh, what?
One word for JBL. Guess which one? Between these two.
That's not even the only thing I have a problem with that. On top of getting that completely skewed and overrating that match, and I love the match, but it's not 5 1/4. Come on. Is what he decided to do after all that shit to try to save face, and you knew it was a panic move, and I could tell it was a fucking panic move. Shane wasn't on SmackDown, I guess, and I hate to bring WWE into this because I fucking hate them, but Shane wasn't on SmackDown for, I guess, 2 weeks or whatever, and Dave Meltzer reported, well, Vince forgot that he has a son there. Vince has nothing for him. You couldn't have dug in more deeper to find out that Shane McMahon during those 2 weeks was on fucking jury duty? That, literally 24 hours after his fucking dumbass report, it got debunked by some fucking Joe Schmo who was in the jury with him.
Which, by the way, they're not even supposed to give that information out.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
shitting. You're not supposed to.
Yeah, but I think they had to, and the court was just like, oh yeah, this guy's an idiot. Go ahead and you can release it and let your the company can let you know where you've been or whatever. Because this guy's a fucking idiot. So not only did he overrate a match, not only did he fucking say that they should main event over the fucking world title, but then he goes and gets a fucking news story. Completely wrong. How the fuck do you take this guy seriously? You don't. That's the answer. It's shit like that. It's like... It was like he tried to save face, and he fell on his fucking face, like an idiot. I'm sorry.
As I've said before, and I'll say it again, because we talked about it a long time ago on a podcast that we did a long, long-ass time ago.
Which we will never... great. My fucking computer decided to be a douche canoe.
Continue with your...
I will never trust outside media source when it comes to professional wrestling, because most of the time, it's wrong.
Well,
because how do you get any information on any of this? Well, there's one major way. You just contact the person that you're trying to ask the question towards, and if it's a problem like that...
It's TMZ, though. Let's be honest.
TMZ is known for, you know...
It's basically... It's the
half-assed
TMZ of wrestling.
articles
and
and biased...
Guess what? That's why
That's what the Observer
they're
is.
not journalists. They're paparazzi, and that's all they're good for. is to pump out the fast stories.
Yeah, they call themselves journalists.
They're not journalists. All they do is sit there and pump out information.
Misinformation half the time.
Misinformation
Most of the time.
I think,
half
though,
the time
here's the thing.
50% of their articles are true.
Most
of them are wrong.
Here's what here's what I am fine with the other news sites over the Observer, though. I mean, besides Brian Alvarez, Big Vinny V, and Craig, they're all great. But Meltzer can fucking kick rocks. This guy decides.
That's why he got so buff.
Yeah.
Kicking rocks all day.
I mean, maybe he trains with The Rock, I don't know. I mean, he looks like he trains with the fucking Rock, but
Dwayne
anyway.
the Dick Johnson.
This guy.
Dwayne the Pebble Johnson.
Too many pebbles.
This guy decides, he's going to do what his thing, and it's like, you could tell this guy is in bed with them financially, with both AEW and New Japan. You could tell. You could just fucking tell that he is. Whereas in guys like Ryan Satin, who admittedly, he gets shit wrong sometimes, but, you're always going to get shit wrong when you don't hear it from the horse's mouth, and that's kind of how they do it to get the insider information. That's kind of how they have to do it. And not all of it's going to be wrong. But I can at least admit that they don't get that wrong, but still enjoy what they produce because they don't have a personal bias in it. Meltzer does. And it's one thing if he prefers one brand of wrestling over the other. But by no means does that mean guys like Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit or Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho in the past deserve to be discredited.
The SmackDown 6 were some of the greatest athletes of all time.
Yes, agreed.
Some of the best fucking workers you could ever have.
Absolutely.
Remind me who the SmackDown 6 were?
Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. That would be Edge, Kurt Angle, and what was the last one, James?
Edge, Kurt Angle. It was Eddie, Chavo, Edge, Ray, Benoit, and Angle. That's the SmackDown 6.
And two of those are
if you wanted to add two more, Big Show and Brock, it was really the SmackDown 8.
Now this was back in 2003, 2004?
2003, yes.
We're talking about athletic, not...
Big Show was pretty athletic back then, actually.
Especially for his size.
He wasn't.
Big Show was athletic in WCW, I'll give that.
Well, Big Show, he was definitely athletic for his size.
What do you make the 7-foot-tall monster do? Fuck it, let's let him do elbow drops and fucking drop kicks and moonsaults. Yes, Big Show used to be able to do a moonsault.
He's relearned in recent years, so I'm told.
Just let's ask the
scary
question
for anybody.
Yeah, that's scary just to say.
Let's ask the question: who the fuck is gonna take that?
Nobody.
Who is gonna take that?
Not even him at his current
currently
shape,
no way.
He's in the best shape of his life, but no.
He wouldn't take a moonsault from himself, and I do not blame him.
To round this topic off, I'm gonna we're gonna give I want one word answers, and we're just gonna move on from this topic. Would you ever take Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer seriously again?
Nay.
Nah.
So there you go. Fuck Dave Meltzer. Anyway, let's.
We shouldn't just hate people based off their...
Hang on, Nikos. You said fuck Dave Meltzer. Now we owe Bruce Pritchard 25 cents.
I'll pay him 25 cents for that. I don't give a shit. I agree with him. That's one thing him and I can agree on.
By the way, shout outs to Something to Wrestle. Great podcast.
It is honestly a great podcast. Conrad Thompson's a great podcaster in general. But
it doesn't seem.
Let's get to the next.
Sorry
topic.
to derail, but it doesn't really seem like the next logical step to me. You have mortgage lender guy, podcaster. Someone explain how that connects.
I don't fucking know. I don't even know. Next one. Next topic.
Right.
We're going to talk about. So this is an NXT topic, and yes, as Indie Force, we are reviewing NXT. Just NXT, not UK. Fuck that garbage. We're reviewing NXT by itself. And there's some really good, exciting news, especially for the people over at 205 Live Matters, that I think they're going to like to hear, even if it means 205 Live is ending. Yes, go right ahead.
The article reads, it comes from WrestlingNewsSource.com, is sourced by Newsweek. And it
Triple
says,
H is growing his hair out again.
amongst other things. It says, in an interview with Newsweek, Triple H confirmed that the 205 Live brand and the Cruiserweight wrestlers will move over to the NXT brand. There has long been a rumor that WWE plans to cancel 205 Live before the year is over, and Triple H on 205 Live moving towards NXT. You'll start to see 205 begin to... Yeah, I'm not going to... You'll start to see...
No, that was a good impression. Go on for it. Go for it.
I think it always existed as kind of an island unto itself a little bit, and it's become lost in this limbo.
So this is what smoking with Triple H sounds like.
Just go. I'm intrigued. This is making it even entertaining.
You'll begin to see it move more towards the NXT banner and the talent there. We have a lot of talent. For them to begin to compete either open against anyone or in the Cruiserweight division, but have that title sit under the NXT brand is more meaningful. It creates more opportunities for more people. As for Raw and SmackDown, it's an open division for them. When you're on both shows, everybody's competing against everybody.
End quote.
Wow.
Will you be sad to see WWE 205 Live end?
Yeah. No, I'm kidding now. Because they've done nothing.
Honestly, I don't give a shit. I don't watch that.
They had 3 years of build for it, and they've done fucking nothing with it.
Here's why.
No wonder it slipped under my radar.
I am happy it's actually merging with NXT and 205 Live is ending. Not because the brand, the Cruiserweight division is still intact, but it is moving to a fucking place where it'll actually be taken seriously, where it'll actually be allowed to flourish and develop characters that is sorely needed for that division, because I'm sorry, you can't just rely on Drew Gulak and the Brian Kendrick to save your fucking program every time.
Excellent workers though they are.
But, come on, his name is the Brian Kendrick. Why are people taking him seriously again?
Well, I mean,
because
he actually is a serious motherfucker.
Listen, if I call myself the Michael X, that's retarded.
Well,
I think that's the...
Regarding Brian Kendrick, I have 2 words for you. Burning Hammer.
I have 1 word for you. Lemmings. What? Because I'd rather watch a bunch of fucking lemmings than watch the Brian Kendrick. Unless he's the Brian Kendrick with the Paul London doing some of the greatest tag team wrestling work in history.
I would have paid money to see London and Kendrick versus Motor City Machine Guns. Are you shitting me?
Yeah, sign me up.
That would have been good.
But first of all, what the fuck is a lemming?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're the gaming nerd. How the fuck do you not know about lemmings?
Never heard that word in my life.
You've got to remember, he's older than, like, all of us here, dude.
Lemmings are older than him.
Doesn't mean he's aware of it. It may have been popularized recently. Doesn't mean
No,
he was
not at all.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're off topic again. Shocker.
Yeah, right.
205. I am fine with the 205 Live ending as long as they are on a brand that will treat the Cruiserweight division with
The respect
that they're due, and actually be treated like NXT. So there's lemmings. But yeah, I'm not really upset with that. With that being said, 205 really doesn't matter for the Cruiserweight division. And I hate to say that, Noah, don't kill me for saying that. But it's not 205 Live that matters. Cruiserweight wrestling matters in that case. And if it's not going to flourish... We've been complaining about this since the inception. That 205 and the Cruiserweight division as a whole on the main roster was treated like the red-headed stepchild from the word go. Right after the Cruiserweight Classics ended, which was an amazing tournament, and fucking completely got killed because of the way they booked the brand.
Pushed down a hill. There was no way to survive the oncoming wall that was going to hit them.
Yeah. Because the wall, as we have discussed our hatred of this man
it's Jericho.
multiple times. No, it's never Jericho.
Jericho's the wall.
Well, he broke the walls down.
The walls.
They needed Jericho in 205.
But no, so as I was saying,
could Jericho actually compete?
The wall in this case is Vince McMahon. And it was always going to be a wall because he never liked the smaller guys. And that was obvious. He had... Dude, think of it like this. He had Tony Nese act like a heavyweight in a Cruiserweight division. He had him act like Chris Masters out there. when this dude is such a fucking athletic specimen, and that should be his gimmick. And it's shit like that that's like, oh, this fucking division's going to hell in a handbasket real quick. It didn't get any worse when Enzo was fucking put on there, and he ruined the brand's credibility even more. Even for the little 15 minutes of fame of being on world tour that it got before he got popped for some bullshit fucking sex allegation. You know, and then it would just get worse, and then once Enzo left, Vince gave up because he knew his idea sucked. As I pointed out on the rundown prior, Vince doesn't admit it, but his ideas suck. And so he's like, Trips, you take it, pal. I want nothing to do with this anymore. And he just fucking did it.
I have an idea. More fart jokes.
I kid you not, there was a period of time where 205 Live consisted of fucking fart jokes.
More
weekly.
steroid liquid fuel.
So there you go. I mean,
I think the whole thing can be summed up in one sentence. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty man.
Makes us man like does he really? Because then Braun Strowman got explain Braun Strowman.
He was not muscular enough.
He was big, but
he's
not muscular enough.
He'll fight. Basically, if it doesn't fit, if Vince gets tired of him, he won't fucking deal with him anymore.
You want me to tell you what Vince wants? And I'll give you a quick list. Hulk Hogan. What's another Hogan? That's why Cena's body type is very specific. He wants a Paul Orndorff. Ooh. He wants a Brutus.
There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Mr. Wonderful? Of course, motherfucker. He wants a
Billy
Greg the
Graham.
Hammer Valentine.
Billy Graham.
Think about everybody he's ever had on his roster.
And you want to know
during
the
the
saddest
80s
part?
into the 90s are thick, big guys that he would constantly push to the main.
And you want to know
fucking
the
spot.
sad part? The only time he put non-thick guys were the four names that come to mind: Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, which was during the steroid trial, and that's the only reason why they were fucking pushed. Otherwise, they would have never had a shot in hell, and they know it. So stop kissing his ass, please. Looking at you, Michaels. And then there's
he's
Stone
sucking
Cold.
his dick in the back room.
True.
Which is
And then
when
there's
Triple H.
And the only other two were Stone Cold and The Rock, who, yes, they were big, but they weren't muscular or buffed up at all.
Except
If anything,
Rock
they were
now.
flabby.
Yeah.
Rock is now, for sure. But back then, he wasn't.
But look at Hunter.
And the only reason they pushed them
No,
was because, guess what? They were getting their ass kicked in the ratings by WCW every Monday
Can we do a
night.
side-by-side between 2011 Hunter Hearst Helmsley compared to 1999
True.
or WrestleMania 2000 Hunter, with his theme specifically being My Time, when he finally became fucking...
I would say he was that was the buffest he ever was, though.
No, the buffest he ever got was all the way up to 2011. He was fucking massive throughout the early 2000s.
Are we talking? Well, yeah, I guess
We're
he was
talking
more.
about-
He was more swole then. Yeah.
When he fully became the Game and started teaming up with fucking
When I think of
with
the
Michaels,
game,
then absolutely he became
when I think of the
massive.
game, I think of the game from like 2000 to 2005. That's the game I think of.
That's
With the fucking abs and the final boss hair and the fucking king. That's the
And the
one
and the
I
hand,
not
and the handlebar
not the
goatee.
guy,
James.
yeah, not the freaking
James.
jackass who's trying to act like a cool
James.
dad on TV.
James.
Triple H.
Listen, this is all you have to say about it. He looked at Lemmy, Killmaster, and he said,
I want to do that.
I'm going to do that face. But you know what I'm going to give him? I'm going to give him a Paul Orndorff body. And then what they did
And
is
a
that
long hand.
they popped the head, and they just shifted it over to a completely different figure, and on the process, the two side things popped off his face.
True.
And it became a completely different person. I am the Game. You were something.
Anyway,
Anyway,
we
You
were
weren't even
ships,
pre.
but-
You weren't
Who
even
is in the
pre
Guinness Book of
DLC.
World Records, by the way?
Like currently?
He's still in the Guinness Book of World Records.
For what?
I can look it up if you guys want to.
if you want to, you can.
He's
But
in the
anyway,
Guinness, I'm not fucking
basically,
around. I had the
basic
book within
idea of
minutes.
this: Triple H knows what he's doing by merging 205 with NXT. It absolutely should happen, and I think, honest to God, it's a long time coming. It should have happened 2 years ago.
now,
But
was I happy to see the cruiserweights get their own dedicated show? Absolutely, but I feel like this would be a far better move for them.
especially considering the fact that when they're on the main roster, on the main roster. They get pre-showed on their pay-per-views anyway, so absolutely no one, except for maybe like 12,000 people will watch it. At best.
To better the chances for 205?
Better chances for 205 is to merge with NXT.
Yeah.
Because then they'll get...
I mean, these past 3 years, what do we know from 205? I mean...
I barely
Enzo Amore and the disaster of that fucking angle.
My name is Enzo Amore, and I almost necked myself walking down the stairs this morning.
He almost necked himself in the ring, but that's a story that we don't need to get into. Alright, so that's story done. Now we move on. Speaking of merging, that's not the only thing that has been rumored to merge. Now, we do cover rumors, and we will admit that we cover rumors because it's a fun debate topic.
There is a rumor going around that Impact Wrestling is trying to buy Ring of Honor. Is this smart or no?
To be honest,
I will say this. Both Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling are in a position where they need all the help they can get.
I agree, actually. And that's why... And the weird thing is, I wouldn't have thought it was smart now, but after Impact acquired a time slot and bought AXS TV,
which is another topic
topic we're going to be covering because it kind of all relates into like one subtopic. Impact Wrestling, to the shock of me and pretty much everybody else, has become a viable alternative again. And if they add Ring of Honor, they have way more talent at their disposal. I mean, think about it. You got guys like Silas Young. You got guys like Jay Lethal. You got guys like Matt Taven there. You got the rest of the fucking kingdom.
Yeah, Vinny
Marcellia, TK O'Ryan, and a who's who of fucking talent there.
I didn't find the Triple H thing, but I got a fun fact.
What?
Who would you consider the longest undefeated streak in professional wrestling?
Excluding WrestleMania?
Correct.
Don't know then.
Dr. Death Steve Williams.
That makes sense.
He went 10 fucking years undefeated.
Right.
How many matches is that?
Over 1,000.
Holy... Well, no more, because when he was fucking around, that's territory days.
That is true. But anyway, that's another topic from
beside the point.
So,
but hey,
did you
we're nothing if not educational.
Yes. There you go. Education.
The more you know.
Even though we're the indie force and we like the nowadays indie stuff a lot better than the WWE product nowadays.
I like classic WWE.
We like classic territories. We like classic WWF. We like all that shit. Okay. So,
we just like good wrestling.
There you go.
Yeah.
WWE no longer produces good wrestling. NXT does for some reason, but Raw and SmackDown don't. So we tune into programs that actually give us good wrestling.
Also, James, we were wrong about a match a long time ago.
What?
Well, tell me about it later.
No, take a second.
Fuck you.
Trust me, this is kind of...
We keep going off topic because of you. We got off topic like 5 times.
It's fine. This will only take a
second.
Go.
Remember how we used to talk about that Bret Hart and fucking Shawn Michaels had the longest match ever?
Yes.
Wrong. 1916. 4.5 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Lewis and Joe Stretcher.
Are we shocked? I mean,
that's
WWE.
Yeah,
WWE
they went 4.5 hours. There was probably like 2 people left in the stands.
5.5 hours.
And there was like 2 people left in the stands by the time the match was over.
Yeah, I remember this.
Fucking,
I remember hearing about that on the friggin', what was it? The history of the World Heavyweight Championship?
No.
Yeah, that's why they had to put time limits on wrestling matches for the longest time.
But how the fuck? That's longer than a fucking pay-per-view. 1916 and July 4th. This went on July 4th, 1916?
Yep.
These motherfuckers fought for 5.5 hours?
Simulated.
It must have been a really good fight.
Motherfucker, they fought for 5.5 hours?
I mean, if it was really a good fight, then why would there only 2
If only we
people
can
left?
think of something like that.
Dude,
because who's going to sit through a 5.5 hour match? 5.5 hour show, maybe. 5.5 hour match? Fuck off.
That's one match. That's fucking... I've never heard
Well,
of that.
anyway. So,
That's a new streak.
that's beside the point. We gotta get back on topic, please. For the love of God, you motherfucker. Can we get back on topic?
Yeah,
Go ahead. Let's go.
I just wanted to put that out there because I don't know.
Did you hear about the Impact buying Ring of Honor because they just bought AXS TV.
I recently read on that article.
Where did they find this money? And
that's what I want to know.
And who has been giving them money to do this? Who let this company stay alive?
I don't know, dude. It's almost like they pulled themselves out of the grave just when you think you can count them out. They never go away.
Did Cowboy
They're like a friggin' locust.
Cut the amount of beer he drank?
Well, here's the thing. I've been hearing Impact's been consistently good now since Don Callis has taken over for like the last 2 years. So I've been hearing rave reviews about Impact again. But the biggest problem was they were on the fucking Pursuit channel, which was fucking up their show constantly. And I assume they're still going to be on Twitch, which is good, because then the people that don't actually have a cable box can just watch it on Twitch.
You mean that?
And then the people that have AXS TV, which is me,
I hate to tell people that
I can watch it.
You know how many people no longer have cable boxes in the U.S.?
Yeah.
About fucking 25% of United States homes no longer own a cable box because it's useless.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about what is it's not even a cable box. I should say the smart Xfinity Smart TV or whatever the fuck it's called now.
I use Firefox or no Fire Stick Amazon. But that's
there you go. As long as you get Twitch on there, you should be fine. But yeah, you can watch it on Twitch because I think they'll still stream it on Twitch. And then for those who want to watch it on TV, you can watch it on TV. And AXS is such a more... now, don't get me wrong. It's nothing like TNT or USA. For sure it isn't. But
if New Japan's run on AXS was any indication?
Basically what they can be is the ECW of this kind of era. And what I mean by that is they'd be the viable third alternative, essentially. So long as they do what I think they're going to do and merge along with Ring of Honor. And, I mean, even then, they still have a shit ton of talent in the ranks as it goes in.
Who's in TNA nowadays?
Killer Cross is a really good talent. He has been a very, very good talent. And fucking pay him now that you got this fucking deal, motherfuckers.
No, don't give him money, Sid. Fuck him. He does.
Killer Cross, Tessa Blanchard, who's the best, maybe one of the best top 5 wrestlers in all the world, not just a female. She's that fucking good. Because, of course, she's Tessa Blanchard. It's fucking daughter of Tully Blanchard. Sami Callihan, who's been doing the best fucking work of his entire career.
Can you imagine a fight between Sami Callihan and Vinny Marseglia?
I would love that.
Sign me the hell up.
I can't even lie.
Sign me the hell up.
I'd love to see OVE versus the Kingdom. And you know what else I'd love to see? I'd love to see OVE, the Christs versus fucking Briscoes. I want to see that. I would love to see that.
You put the Briscoes on anything, and you'll usually get my eyeballs if I can find a way to watch it.
I love the Briscoes. The Briscoes are the best.
Briscoes put on incredible matches.
And Matt Taven does too, and I feel like Matt Taven has always gotten a bad rep. I guarantee you, put him in the ring with either a Brian Cage or put him in the ring with somebody that's currently in Impact now.
Gail Kim? No, I'm kidding.
Hell no.
I jest.
Nah.
But wouldn't be a bad idea. No, probably won't.
Yeah, it'd be a very bad idea.
It'd be a very bad idea. It's a very bad idea. But there are plenty of talent. Even nowadays in Impact, I've heard that their in-ring product is maybe even be better now, surprisingly, compared to when they had guys like, which kind of shocks me.
Samoa Joe,
which shocks
Chris
me
Sabin.
to hear. I mean, I in a way, I don't know if I can really be shocked, because then I watched the Slammiversary show from last year when they had the OGs versus LAX, so the original LAX versus the old LAX. That was an awesome match. The way they built to that was awesome. Just everything that they were building to was great. And if they can have that kind of consistency when they go on AXS and merge with and if they merge with Ring of Honor, I think that's all the good for them. Now there is one thing that
actually, before hold on to that, because I just thought of this. Ring of Honor is owned by Sinclair Networks, yes?
Yes.
Yep.
if Impact Wrestling ends up buying Ring of Honor,
Does that mean?
Does that? Well, I would assume so. They would go on AXS, but would that mean Sinclair is completely out of the picture?
That would mean Sinclair is owned also by Anthem Entertainment, which is the proprietor for Impact.
Because I remember when I still had the ability to watch Ring of Honor, it aired 8 o'clock, I believe Friday or Saturday night.
Now it's Sunday. It's even worse now. I don't know why they do Sundays.
On, of all things, Nessun.
Yeah. I don't think they're on Nessun anymore, are they?
They might be, I don't know. I haven't been able to check.
But anyway, we are looking forward to that, probably.
Provided it does happen.
Yeah, and provided that they stay consistent, which, God willing, because I remember the last time Mike and I gave Impact a chance, we were sorely disappointed. Although Don Callis wasn't running the promotion.
Yeah, that was another pile of human shit running it, known as Vince Russo,
or Dixie Carter.
No, let's be honest. Dixie was just there.
Dixie, fuck off. Dixie took all of his fucking ideas and fired everybody else and lied to them about it.
Actually, no. If you read the fucking book, I believe Jim's coming out with about fucking TNA Impact, his time working there. You get to read about how much of a fucking snake Russo is.
Oh, I know it's Russo, but he does not.
We're talking about let me
he
give an
holds
example.
Dixie responsible too.
Let me give an example. He fucking had a match booked, and I talked about it on the previous podcast, I believe, or I might have talked about it during the review that we had. I'm like, that's like having Sting versus Hernandez, and then having Eric Young come out with the steel chair, beat their asses, and turn heel. That was actually going to happen on TNA Impact.
Yep.
Hernandez was supposed to lose against Sting. Then fucking...
And Sting was injured at the time.
Yeah, with injured ribs. So fucking Hernandez loses because superpowers come out of nowhere and just happen. And what was supposed to happen is that Eric Young was supposed to come out and hit him with the fucking chair.
And he wasn't even going to be on the pay-per-view that week.
Let me go into it with just a second. Not only did he have that thing and fucking Jim go, this will kill his push in
I think they did a
Latin
double
America.
DQ.
Well, this will kill his push. And he goes, no, don't worry about it, bro. It'll be fine, bro. And they had a whole conversation about it, and it got changed. They had the meeting, their booking meeting.
Yeah, he tried to change it again.
No, he did change it. He changed it, and they're like, no, you fucking idiot. You don't understand how Latin America works.
He ended up fighting.
Here's how it works.
Like tooth and nail because his way was the right way.
Faith behind him when he loses. That's how that works.
Yeah, because unlike what modern WWE would like to fucking tell you, wins and losses actually fucking matter, especially if it's about to be a big push. Or as Adam Cleary would say from what culture? Push.
Unless your name is fucking...
I'm sorry, no, Andy Murray. Boosh.
Bray Wyatt, somehow. It doesn't matter your wins or losses, you're still somehow trying to be the creepiest thing on television.
Yeah. But that's another story.
We don't talk about that.
We already did.
Let's go to the next topic because again, this is kind of relating to Impact and everything. So the next news topic. Now we're moving on to the full-on news topics because a lot of these were actually.
Well, we do have one more debate topic. We'll come back to it.
Oh, what is it? I'm sorry. Oh, actually, yeah, we could talk about this. I'm sorry, I completely missed out on it. Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens sent out a tweet recently after the ending of his feud with Shane McMahon. It read only.
Stop having
what was it? 14, 24, 20.
Yep. Which, if you read the numbers of that, it's
as letters of the alphabet.
It translates to NXT.
Now, I believe this is...
If I remember correctly, the tweet went, Vince, stop having me fight your spot monkey of a son. It's getting old really quick.
Yeah. So I assume Kevin Owens is winning the feud against Shane. And everyone's apparently up in arms about how Kevin Owens is being booked on the main roster, which when everybody saw that he was going back to NXT or even teasing that fact, everybody kind of rejoiced right after his abysmal booking on the main roster when it comes to the Shane McMahon debacle. So yeah, everyone's like, but then there was the other side where it's like, but Kevin Owens has already been an NXT champion, he's already completed everything, and like, not really. He was only in NXT for a year. Not even a year. He was there in December of 2014.
Got called up in like June the next year.
To be honest,
way too quick, in my opinion.
To be 100% honest, this is just either it's WWE or him himself trying to find a way to try to keep him in the company. Because if he leaves,
he goes to AEW and they're fucked.
They're fucked.
They're more fucked than they already are, basically.
It's like TNA Impact. I'm still shocked as a fucking thing for the fact that they lost all of their big stars within a year.
Pretty much the only name they never lost was Abyss.
Yeah. And now they lost him because he's working for WWE
well, I
now,
can't really say they lost Cowboy James Storm either, because he fucking went there and then went,
fuck
this. I don't like this, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And now he's in NWA.
I don't get to drink beer every 10 seconds.
And now he's in NWA teaming with Peter Avalon.
The new beer money.
Yeah. Fuck off. My
and
ass.
then Joey Ryan comes out
please,
and asks him to put beer in his dink.
No.
To which James Storm says, "Go back to high school, you fucking pedophile."
And then Joey Ryan says, "Now with my army of dick inflatable, what is my gimmick?"
Just stops mid-sentence. Wait, what is my motive?
What the fuck is my gimmick?
What is my gimmick anymore?
What the
Who
fuck
gives
is
a
my
shit?
gimmick?
Anyway.
What is my character arc in this episode?
So
Am I supposed to learn something through this?
everybody in favor. Who's in favor? Short one-word answers of Kevin Owens going to NXT.
Absolutely in favor.
Really?
His career needs that second shot. He's lost every bit of credibility he's had on the main roster.
Here's where I will go back to. If it makes sense, put him in there. I think Kevin Owens in that current climate would make a lot of sense.
They need that. They need that stone cold heel that doesn't.
If it were like a guy like AJ Styles who never appeared on NXT and it was already fucking tailor made and was going to be Vince's guy because he convinced Vince to be his guy, right? There's absolutely no way it would make sense for him. Kevin Owens, it makes sense because he was literally called up way too soon anyway. So if he goes back down to NXT, it makes sense. And I go back to Fandango and Tyler Breeze. Look at how rejuvenated they are since they've gotten back down to NXT to the point where they can now legitimately could stake claim to the Undisputed Era. Specifically Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish for the NXT Tag Team titles.
That is a terrible last name.
Which one?
Oh, it's... Yeah, but what can you do? It's...
Easy, change it.
Yeah.
That's what
WWE constantly changing names. It was Antonio Cesaro. Now it's Cesaro.
I don't give a shit.
Rusev.
Anyway, you could call them the Era.
Dolph Ziggler.
The point
Ramen
is...
noodles.
The point is, they could look like legitimate contenders to Riley and Fish, right?
Just call them Red Dragon.
Just call them Red Dragon.
Yeah.
They're going to be contenders now. At some point in the future. In the main roster... Vince wouldn't have even given him the fucking time of
because
day.
they're not Vince McMahon guys.
Yeah,
I told you he has a body type. He wants the Apollo. He wants an Apollo. He wants a big, bulky fucking guy. He wants a monster that looks like a 200-pound bag of meat with over 400 pounds of meat in it.
Are you sure that's Apollo? Because that sounds more like Achilles.
It doesn't matter.
That sounds like more of a...
Okay, listen, it's a lot of Greek fucking things, okay?
Yeah.
Greece, for some reason, has a thing of the...
Well, if anybody should know, it's this guy.
He's got the pizza grease in his veins.
Yeah.
We
just can prove it, too.
I can. Do you have a knife?
You got a 5-in-1.
But anyway,
whatever.
No. So
Nikos just looked at him like, "You are useless to me."
So what about you guys? Now that we kind of made our points.
Well,
'Cause you guys looked iffy on it.
For me, I was gonna say nay, but now thinking back, Kevin Owens wasn't on NXT for the longest time. I feel like
He was
maybe-
on it. He was on NXT for all of 5.5 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like if he were to go back, it's not like he's still leaving WWE. Of course, NXT is still
WWE.
or WWE. So
But at least there, he'll be treated with the respect that
Yeah,
his
he'll be
fucking
treated-
character deserves.
he'll be
which
treated
is, I don't know, a
better
prize
there.
fucking fighter.
Besides, I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for Kill Steen Kill Volume 3.
Especially if he's fighting Adam Cole.
Oh,
And
Lord.
to bring that fucking feud. That's an underrated feud from the independent circuit back in the day.
Was that
Adam
ever
Cole-
Ring of Honor?
Adam Cole and Kevin Steen in PWG, Ring of Honor, MLW. Before they got called up, they fought in fucking everywhere, dude. They fought everywhere, dude. These guys, or I don't know if I think MLW. I could be confusing it with another company, but
Probably.
who knows? I know they've fought in everywhere in the indies.
They've had a lot of
PWG and
matches,
Ring of
yes.
Honor are like the two big ones. And I remember they wrestled a few matches in other territories as well, like small independent leagues, and they always tore the house down. You put that shit on a main roster level and make that a fucking title feud, and Kevin Owens doesn't necessarily have to win. Adam Cole can just
At
make
least
that.
not. At least not right away.
And it makes sense because who has he been calling out? Adam Cole in his promos. Guys like Kevin Owens, guys like Finn Balor,
Guys like Johnny Gargano.
Gargano, who he beat already. He beat the
He
heart
beat
and soul of
already
NXT.
twice.
Now he wants to beat. Now he wants to beat a guy like Kevin Owens, and you never know. I mean, Balor made a fucking one-off appearance at UK, the shit one. You know, he can make an appearance at the good one. He can make an appearance, have a
I would
title
love to
match with Adam Cole as a one-off on an episode of USA.
I would love to see
And
that.
and if they book it right, Adam Cole beats him and retains the belt, and he's beating all these NXT like legends essentially. Gargano, Owens,
Yo, Adam Cole's the new Legend Killer.
exactly. He would be the legend killer of NXT. That's why I'm saying, you know what? Yeah, put Owens on NXT. This actually makes a lot of sense, especially in the current climate with the era. Talking all this mad shit about the old NXT.
And
call.
that's
to-
why
not
it's
to
not
mention-
gonna happen.
Not to mention.
also
Because, what did you say, Brian?
Well,
Because
it makes sense. Yeah, but that's this is NXT.
no, just say that one line again.
What?
Say that one line again.
I don't remember.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah, but
That's
this is
why it's not
NXT.
going to happen. Because it's Vince McMahon. Name one fucking business
This
decision
is-
that made sense.
Okay, I don't think Vince is going to have much of a choice.
Yeah, he does. He either has option A or B. Here,
You know
I'll
what?
throw you
This
a
is a rumor
extra
for now.
bucks
This is a
week
rumor for
if
now.
you don't leave. Oh, that's all he has to do. Let's be 100% honest. There's one thing that you are primarily for in the wrestling business, that's to make money. Everything else is aside. Titles, pushes, all that shit aside.
Yeah.
You are there to make money. Rule number one. It's not a, if you're going after titles and you're expecting titles and main event matches, you're a mark for yourself. Rule number one. But it's more of the fact that I know it's, if it does happen, I'll be shocked. Because it's the fact that Vince isn't going to let somebody from the main roster go back if he can go.
Well, here's
They
the
make
thing.
a lot of money for
That's-
me when it comes to t-shirt sales.
That's the thing. He doesn't because he's killed off Owens so much, and I think he did it to prove a point. So if he goes back
Not
to
even the
NXT,
ROH guys are free from my bullshit fucking parameters of how wrestling should be.
yeah. So
Yeah,
if he goes back to NXT, it will be because Vince doesn't care about him, and there have been reports already. Vince has never been high on Kevin Owens, not even during his Jericho feud.
Yeah, and not to mention, going back to the whole Legend Killer angle, if we have this happen on NXT, you're getting it from the guy who ran with the original Legend Killer, so he knows how that friggin' angle is supposed to go.
And here's another reason why I think Vince would be all in favor of this anyway, because this is a little bit of Vince influence. I'm not even going to deny it with you. But in this case, if Triple H books it, whatever. Have your selfish reasons all you want. But Vince's selfish reason is
I
because
just don't see it happening.
since Chris Jericho is in AEW now,
He can do whatever the hell he wants.
He wants that Canadian flavor to counter Chris Jericho.
Guess what? There's one issue with that. You had many other fucking Canadian athletes that he can pull out of the hat that can do the exact same thing Jericho does. And you know why he won't do it? For just staying against Jericho, because he left and fucking made more money at a different company because they gave him creative freedom to do whatever the hell he wants. And they're gonna go, no, fuck that. We're gonna have Owens when he gets to NXT lose for like months on end to prove a point.
I don't think you give NXT enough credit.
I'm not shitting on NXT. I'm shitting on WWE policy.
Well,
because no matter what,
it's not confirmed yet. But if it's confirmed, because we could be on this topic,
I'll be
for
fine
ages.
with. I'll be fine with it. All I'm trying to tell you is the obvious truth. You're asking Vince McMahon to change his fucking mind on an athlete, and
he won't change his mind, but I think he's grown tired of
happened.
Owens. He's been grown tired of him.
But it's never happened. Everybody said the same thing about Sami Zayn. Where the fuck's Sammy right now?
That's a good question.
Don't even get me started.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Everybody said the
I
same
hate
thing
what
about,
they've done to Sammy.
Everybody said the same thing about fucking Cesaro. He's gonna be main event talent. When?
Yeah, I know.
When the fuck did that happen? Sheamus was pushed over Cesaro. How did that happen? I have no fucking idea.
And then the two later became a tag team. Admittedly, a very good tag team.
Yeah, but it's still the fact that fucking who cares? That's the one. I'm not trying to become a downer because I'm just trying to point out the fact of you are asking Vincent Kennedy McMahon, VKN, Voodoo Kin Mafia here, to change his fucking mind on a professional wrestler.
That is just impossible.
It's physical. It's never happened. It's never going to work.
We'll see.
Want me to tell you what he said?
I want to hope.
You want me to give an example? Raven. What did he say when he heard Raven was coming back?
Give a shit.
The fucking guy with the tennis racket?
That's Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
No, Raven
Raven's
also
original gimmick and
was a tennis racket.
WWF had he had a tennis.
That's all Vince ever saw him as.
Yep.
A guy with the fucking tennis racket.
Yep. Raven, one of the biggest ECW and WCW stars of all time.
I get
was
it.
Tennis racket.
I get it, but let's see how it plays out.
I agree.
But
I'm just saying, don't put your hopes up on a fucking pedestal if they're gonna get shot down in like a week.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it will.
Well, don't expect.
They've already put it this way: if they had Owens pretty much tease it with numbers spelling out NXT, I think he's gonna go to NXT. They wouldn't have authorized him to tweet that out otherwise. I think that's the plan. I think that's always been the plan. I think Owens wins the feud against McMahon, then he goes to NXT and is just done with SmackDown Live.
Oh, and to give the example,
which thank God.
If you want an example, Nikos, of him shitting all over the little guy,
Rey Mysterio.
Well, no, not even Rey. Paul London. Paul London
don't even get me started.
during a backstage segment and fired him the same day.
Because the storyline, by the way, was stupid. And that's why he smiled. Because anybody with a fucking brain and two eyes could see that even if this angle went according to plan before an actual death actually happened,
which it did,
it was never going to fucking work.
This is why the death angle has never worked in professional wrestling.
You can't do it
unless it's somebody like, hey, we have to. If it's Undertaker with Paul Bearer, you can make that work and have Paul never show back up again.
This is why I don't want to hear Vince. Anybody telling me that Vince is a great businessman. Chat shit and.
No, he's good at one thing, and that's
chat your shit somewhere else. Don't bring that shit here.
All he knows how to do is market.
He knows how to market. I'll give him that, but otherwise, he sucks as a businessman and he sucks as a wrestling promoter.
He sucked back then.
The only thing that he has in his as the feather in his cap is the marketing. And speaking of that, that's even diminished. Look at the fucking T-shirt sales lately. You buying any of those WWE shirts? You buying the Man's Man T-shirt?
Oh no.
More like
Or you're buying a fucking Darby Allin t-shirt. Or, hey, better yet, a Cody t-shirt. Or a Hangman Page t-shirt over in AEW. I think I know which one I'd rather. Hell, even NXT has some good designs. I'd rather an Undisputed Era t-shirt than the man's man.
But can I just say this? You're still funding WWE by giving money to NXT.
Yeah.
That's all
Well,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
say.
I'm using my friends. So there you go.
Oh, so you...
Oh, so you're basically just...
My friend gives me his network for free. Thanks, Owen.
Hey, guess what?
Appreciate
It's
it.
on the USA Networks.
And what else is going to be on the USA Network?
I know it's Raw. Don't even remind
Don't
me.
get your hopes up. Just
Here's
start.
I know.
Set your expectations low.
Look,
Then when it hits its points,
the minute
call
it goes to a low, yeah, as I said, we already proved it here on the show. If
does
the
everybody
minute it
want?
hits its low point,
Head.
and we know it's to the point of
What
no
does everybody
return,
need? Head.
look, I get it. The minute NXT fucks up, we're gonna call it out like we did with the UK, and we're gonna be done with it. Look. This isn't your typical indie fans here. We like certain independent wrestling, and there are certain things we don't like.
Listen, I'm not.
And by the way, everybody, that's okay. You
I'm
don't
not-
have to like everything.
Listen, I'm not a little bitch, and I'm not gonna sit there and go, well, you see, you should like AEW because of the talent. Who gives a fuck? If you like the show, you like the show. If you want to watch matches from 1987, go right the fuck ahead. Nobody's stopping you. You want to watch classic,
Which is
fucking
pretty
NWA
much the only
matches?
thing the network's good for nowadays.
Yeah, honestly, it's just to watch older shit, including
Yeah.
NWA matches. But that's all it's for. That's all it's for.
You know what the network was?
what?
This is the network now.
DVR from the past.
We can't book our future, so watch the past instead. That should be their new slogan. Because they suck at building the future, unless
and if
it's
you
in
want to see the
NXT.
worst build ever,
God, I feel like we've been on this topic forever.
we are. Right?
Let's.
If you want the
let's
worst
move
build,
on to the next
Nikos,
one.
look up how fucking often. There's a count out there of how many times they said 1090. What was it? 999.
Yeah, that was so
Yeah.
bad.
It was so.
That was
it
so
went-
cringe.
It was so long of a compilation. It went 30 minutes.
Anyway,
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking video. And that's just
anyway,
them going 999.
yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Let's have Nikos. Nikos, why don't you read this?
Sure thing.
So
Listen,
this is
Nikos.
the Access TV to Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling buying out Access.
Which we were about to talk about earlier when I...
Where did these motherfuckers find all this money?
That's what I want to know.
Did they look underneath the pillow that was like had Kurt Angle's painkillers next to it and fucking find this whole stack of money?
I feel like they're just...
That would have been Bobby Roode's pillowcase.
Anyway,
What if they're just secretly laying off workers to get money? Just to save some of their own money?
Yeah.
Or they're just...
we'll see what happens. I don't
They
think that's
asked
the case.
Roxanne to do tricks. on
They've
the
actually
side.
had to stiff people because Pursuit's been giving them shit advertising. I'm not saying that's right, but that is the reason. But anyway, well, let's just talk about this new development with Impact. And also, by the way, this could really change the wrestling landscape, as if AEW wasn't changing it enough. Continue, Nikos.
Toronto Impact Wrestling, a subsidiary of Anthem Sports and Entertainment and one of the world's largest professional wrestling organizations, announced today it has entered into an agreement to broadcast its flagship weekly 2-hour program, Impact, nationally across the U.S. on AXS TV, a leading music, sports, entertainment, and lifestyle channel in which Anthem Sports and Entertainment recently acquired a majority interest.
Which, by the way, this article is coming from PW Ponderings. A lot of these
course.
articles are from this website.
Immediately following Impact Wrestling's biggest pay-per-view event of the year, Bound for Glory, which takes place on October 20th in the Chicago area,
CM Punk confirmed. No, I'm kidding.
will begin airing weekly on AXS TV.
Access TV.
The program will continue to simulcast globally on Impact Wrestling's official Twitch channel.
As I said. Which is great, because those who don't have TV, they have Twitch to go to.
Impact on Axe Draft 385 Impact Wrestling announces move to Axe TV Wrestling TV. Impact Axe Impact Wrestling is a perfect fit for AXS TV's slate
AXS
TV's slate of live sporting events and combat sports content.
Somebody fucked up on the formatting, didn't they?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Said Ed Nordholm, Chief Corporate Officer of Anthem Sports and Entertainment and President of
Ed
Impact
Norton.
Wrestling.
Nordholm.
Ed Nordholm. Yep.
The newest addition to our growing portfolio of media assets, AXS TV's audience perfectly aligns with our passionate Impact Wrestling fan base. And this move increases the reach for our weekly program with distribution in over 50 million homes. We could not ask for a better home and are excited by the opportunities to work with Mark Cuban and Anschutz Entertainment Group, our partners in AXS TV, to bolster Impact Wrestling's presence in the market as we continue to deliver action-packed and innovative weekly programming featuring some of the most athletic and gifted stars in the professional wrestling industry. End quote. Showcasing top professional wrestling stars such as Impact World Champion Brian Cage, plus Rob Van Dam, Rhino, Moose, Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan, Rich Swann, Michael Elgin.
Dude, I totally forgot he was in TNA.
Yeah,
of course.
Continue.
The highest flying X Division and the Knockouts, including Gail Kim, Tessa Blanchard, Taya Valkyrie, Tenille Dashwood, Rosemary, Madison Rain, and Sue Young.
Wow.
Impact has been
I did not know that their Knockouts division was that fucking stacked.
Oh,
my
yeah.
god. I completely forgot how good it was. I knew about Tessa and Gail. I did not know about all those other names until you read them out. Continue.
Impact has been a leading destination for professional wrestling fans, televised globally in 120 countries since its inception in 2002, while growing its popularity and reach on YouTube, Twitch, Pluto, and social media platforms.
Pluto, they stream all the way into the goddamn planet that doesn't
Oh,
exist.
Pluto TV. I actually have that app, actually. So that's another way that you can watch it. I'm sorry, there's 3 ways. So for those who like Pluto, for whatever reason, you can watch it on Pluto.
You forgot about YouTube.
YouTube, Twitch.
No,
Pluto,
YouTube, they don't stream their actual
They
content.
don't stream that,
full
but
episodes.
but they have their matches on YouTube.
They have their matches on YouTube, but they have full episodes on Twitch, Pluto TV, and AXS TV now, which is huge. This is huge for them, because that means they could reach many different audiences. Now, I'm not saying they're going to reach as many homes as I said, a TNT would or AEW would. I'm sorry, TNT or USA would, but it's still going to be, as I said, it's going to be like that ECW feel. It's going to be that viable third company, which I never thought I'd say about Impact again, by the way. I never thought they'd even be
Anyway,
in the
close
top
to
line.
viable.
This is a completely new development that, like, literally sprung out of nowhere, and everybody's been talking about this.
After the bullshit of 2010 to 2013 that came out of TNA,
And then all the years after that,
I thought they were dead and buried.
and Global Farce Wrestling.
Shot.
Yeah, that's a shoot for you. That's what we call a shoot. Yeah, this is going to be really, this is going to be an exciting time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think we could have picked a better time to start this show, because now we got 3 major brands that we could watch. We could watch NXT, we could watch AEW, and we can watch Impact now.
It's almost a really good time again to be a wrestling fan.
Almost.
Oh, yeah.
No, the
We
only
pray that it stays that way.
The only way that we can make it better.
We put WIW on friggin' Spike TV.
That would never happen.
Never.
And if it did, I shit
WIW.
That would never happen.
Hey guys, go watch WIW in the description.
And
Get
then
us to
watch
1,000
Ryback
views.
eat chicken.
I will always watch Ryback eat chicken. I don't give a
Please
shit.
don't watch
That's the
Ryback
best.
Eat chicken. That's kind of disgusting.
Why don't you drink exquisite wine instead?
Wait, who?
Ryback. He's doing wine tastings now.
You doing what? Are you serious? This dude's doing it all. I guarantee you he's gonna start doing Let's Plays. Dude, could you imagine a Ryback Let's Play of Grand Theft Auto?
Oh my god.
Can we please have the
Everybody in Liberty City dies.
Feed me more.
Me clock and bell.
Feed me pixels.
Feed me a car? Oh.
An APC, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, technically I am a cyborg.
You know what they can add into the WWE roster that'd be hilarious?
The Shockmaster.
Is he even still alive?
Fucking
Yeah.
Wait, Ryback could be the new Shockmaster if he puts on more weight.
No, it's Kevin Owens in disguise.
No, Kevin Owens is way more leaner. You're thinking of the other KO in WWE, Cassius Ohno, aka Chris Hero. He's the Shockmaster now.
Yeah, let's.
He's
be
got
friggin'
the
honest.
fucking build,
Dude,
dude.
nobody will be fatter than Typhoon.
I mean,
Or
nobody will.
Tugboat.
Or Big Daddy V.
Or
Oh no, Big Daddy
Jones.
V's got him beat. I'm sorry, Big Daddy V has got Tugboat beat by leaps and bounds. That dude had boobs on top of moobs.
Big Daddy V. Big Daddy V is
Moobs.
also Big Daddy V is also dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
His corpse.
God rest his soul.
Yes.
But he was still shit in the ring. Anyway, next topic.
Going back to PW
Welcome
Ponderings.
to the fat camp, motherfucker.
And yeah, right. Going back to PW Ponderings and back to Impact Wrestling.
Again, it's like they're everywhere on this list.
Apparently, they're to promote a AAA show at Madison Square Garden's Hulu Theater.
Who wants to read this?
Who's that?
I'll take it.
Take it.
Let's see. The world's premier Mexican pro wrestling organization, Lucha Libre AAA, announced today that it has engaged Impact Wrestling, a subsidiary of Anthem Sports and Entertainment, to promote the Lucha Invades New York event to be held in the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden on the eve of Mexican Independence Day. Holy hell, that's friggin' 2 days from now.
Yep.
At 6.
Actually, no, it's tomorrow.
Well, yeah, because technically it's past midnight.
But continue.
Lucha Invades New York will feature an
Those
impressive
sons of
roster
bitches.
of leading Mexican and internationally known luchadors, providing fans an intimate opportunity to experience the colorful aspect of the wrestlers' unique masks and outfits, as well as the dramatic high-flying matches inside the ring.
Yeah.
Impact Wrestling and Lucha Libre AAA have been strong partners for many years, and this event marks a significant milestone in our collaboration to bring fans dream matches featuring the best international talent from both organizations, said Ed Nordholm, Chief Corporate Officer of Anthem Sports and Entertainment and President of Impact Wrestling. Hey, for once, TNA is actually telling somebody the truth.
Yeah.
You guys remember back when the World X Cup was still a thing?
Oh, I remember.
Team AAA, man.
Yep.
Anyway, for over 50 years, Madison Square Garden has hosted some of the biggest events in the world. It is an honor to team up with Lucha Libre AAA for this monumental show to present the best of Mexican professional wrestling in this legendary venue. Lucha Invades New York will feature former two-time UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez.
I can't wait for that.
Shit.
I can't wait for that.
As he competes in his second ever professional wrestling bout. The Mexican-American combat sports star first appeared on the Squared Circle at Triple Mania 27?
Which he did very, very well in. If you look at the clips of his try there, that was his first match in any wrestling company, and he did really, really well for his first match. Maybe even better than Ronda Rousey. Yeah, I said it. Suck it, nerds. Continue.
Earning widespread praise for his impressive debut. The event will also feature AAA Reina de Reinas, which translates to Queen of the Queens, champion, and Impact Wrestling star Tessa Blanchard.
For a second, I thought you said.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I went, what?
I forgot she's the women's champion over in AAA.
Tessa Blanchard in a defense of her title against former Reina de Reinas champion and current Impact Knockouts champion Taya Valkyrie, while Mexican legends Blue Demon Jr. and Ray Wagner will face each other in a grudge match.
Oh.
We are thrilled to bring the most popular Lucha Libre legends to fans in the Hulu Theater at MSG, said Dorian Roldan, Director General of Lucha Libre AAA. The Hulu Theater seating offers our fans the kind of exciting personal experience they expect from AAA.
This is huge.
Because impressive.
Not only
Those of you who are not familiar with AAA, go watch the Lucha Brothers fight the Young Bucks, or go watch the Lucha Brothers fight anybody.
Just go watch somebody else.
Yeah, just go watch. Just go watch the Lucha Brothers.
Anything Lucha Brothers make, just go ahead and watch it.
now I get to this point, because if this just occurred to me, so
We will not watch AAA because I cannot speak Spanish.
I think they have English commentary. So
I cannot
we'll be
believe he hit him with the rudos in the cuando. What did he say? I
AAA.
have no fucking idea.
Lucha-
It's the name of the move. I have no fucking idea.
I would actually like
I don't know who's more excited when it comes to commentary over, actually.
the
Japan
Japanese or the friggin' Mexicans.
Mexicans. I was about to
Good
say.
day to you.
Guys.
Could you just imagine somebody hitting a penalty kick and instead of Morrow freaking out, it's just some guy over and it's like,
Mexico.
Atención! Yada! Yada yada yada!
Yeah, right. Dude, AAA English commentary team, Mike Tenay and Dom West.
Please. Please.
He's got him glazed over like a
Couple of donuts. Oh my churros. Right.
You forgot churros were a thing, didn't you?
Churros with chorizo.
What
You look like you want some taquitos.
what do we okay.
This
so
is my son, Papitos.
so
This is my son, taco, enchilada, and spicy.
question.
I really like it spicy.
So question.
How did we get here?
This is a bigger topic that I realize now because we just went over that Impact is helping AAA. They're looking to buy out Ring of Honor. AAA is in a working relationship with AEW. And Impact Wrestling has given talent
James.
to AEW. Would it be possible for all of them to just not necessarily merge, but
get together and
get together and work together? Very similar to how. Honest to God, it's very similar.
It's the territory days all over again.
Honest to God, and it's not even just that. It's very similar to how Vince helped ECW, or I should say helped.
I would give it like a 50-50.
Well, because there's a lot of talent that are all over these promotions. It's like all over these promotions, like all over the place. Like you look at AAA, you see Tessa Blanchard. You look at Impact Wrestling, Tessa Blanchard. If you want to go further
You look
than
at
that,
New Japan, Tessa Blanchard. Why are there so many shadow clones of Tessa Blanchard at all these promotions at the same time?
they're all different people.
knows
That's
the
the answer.
The technique of shadow clone jutsu.
When is Tessa Blanchard gonna come to the ring? Like,
Oh, jeez, no.
I would prefer
That's a Jordan Miles thing. That's
I would prefer
ACH.
she came down to the ring and did the fireball jutsu.
1,000 years of pain.
Oh, jeez. I think they have done that in comedy shows
A
before.
million years of pain. Double fist fuck the opponent.
Oh God. I think somebody did do that and
Public
actually
technique.
rabbit punched him in the ass, and I heard it hurt like a motherfucker.
I would imagine that's a fist going up your rectum.
James, just
well, I mean, they had tights to protect.
James,
them,
just
but
be X-Pac. Do the Bronco Buster till your asshole rips.
We don't talk about him.
We just
All right.
did.
So good on Impact. Jesus, they're all over this fucking. I never thought Impact would be relevant again, but here we are.
Yeah, right?
They're very, very
I think they're
relevant.
only
What a-
relevant because there's a Labor Day 30% off coupon.
Oh no!
Even so, what a time to be alive.
People on Mexican Independence Day at AAA are going to be pissed.
Labor Day? What the fuck is that? I don't understand what this bullshit is. What is Labor Day?
Anyway,
we
next.
call that common chores around the house. That's a Labor
another. Is this PW Ponderings?
This is
still?
PW Ponderings as well. You want to take this one?
I will take this. I'm no.
Wake up in the morning and
dude,
then
I
you take a
would
nap.
read, but you know how bad my reading is. I started like a bastard. Okay, so I don't know how relevant this is, but say if
his head's funny.
it's Matt Taven, he's our boy.
How's it? What the fuck are you
What?
talking about?
He's a MA boy, Massachusetts, Boston.
Really?
Yeah,
Is he?
yeah.
That's not what that landing strip looks like. Fucking, you can land Logan Airport in his chrome dome.
I think his head is Logan Airport.
It looks like
I like
the
you,
dude
Matt,
from
but-
Road Warrior.
Did he ever get
but
shot
it was
by
a funny
harpoon?
joke. I had to join in.
Did he get shot by a harpoon when he stuck his head out of the water?
The world may never know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll find a way.
But anyway, so
Come on to the-
I don't know how relevant this is gonna. I don't know how relevant this is gonna be, only because now with this rumor that Impact is buying Ring of Honor, his contract may not be up. Although he could go to AEW, I don't know. We'll see. But let's read it anyway, and let's
if
see
he
what
goes to
happens.
AEW, I hope he takes the Kingdom with him.
Please. And if Marty Scurll goes with him, can he take Villainous Enterprises with him?
And
please?
Marty Scurll goes with him. Can Marty Scurll go with Marty Scurll?
Can Marty Scurll go with Marty Scurll as Marty
Wait,
Scurll?
I just realized something.
And then do Shadow Clone Jutsu?
What if AEW is teaming up with Impact, MLW, AAA, and Ring of Honor specifically to create a trios tag division over in their brand?
Dude, if that happens.
Because between those 4 shows,
There's definitely
you got,
enough.
in MLW, you got Contra, you got the Dynasty, you got all these other fucking teams there. You look at AAA, they have a ton of freaking teams that I can't name at all, so don't even ask me to try. You have other freaking teams there too, like
You've got the Kingdom in Ring of Honor.
Kingdom and Ring of Honor. You have the Villainous Enterprises group. You have you could have the Briscoes team up with Bully Ray again. There's other fucking things too going on. And Impact, I think there's tandems. I know there's a tandem with Desmond Xavier, which is the brother of Jason Jordan. So like that's going on. So there's a lot to kind of unpack with this whole article. That being said, let's see.
It's a
what
very
this
short
says.
article. The source here is Pro Wrestling Insider, which is Wade Keller's publication.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
They're reporting that Matt Taven's contract with Ring of Honor is set to expire at the end of September. Simply states that the two sides have yet to come to an agreement.
Oh, that was the shortest article I think we've ever read in my life.
2 sentences. That's it.
There you go.
Okay, so what do we
Perfect.
think about it? That's something.
That is.
Okay, cool.
something
Let's
indeed.
go on to the next one.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know what to make of that. Let's read the first headline
We'll
first
bring
before we get to the
back
next.
the facts on you just as soon as September ends.
We'll wake you up.
I actually, hey, I'm fucking born in September.
Yeah, that's
Show
what
me a
we-
little love here.
That's what we're hoping it ends. So you end.
Oh.
I have to kill you.
Oh.
I'll hide your corpse
Oh.
in the back of my house.
Oh.
They'll never find your body. And even if they did, all they would find is teeth.
Hey, everybody, go check out Hotline Croak.
No,
No, please, no. Don't listen to what he says.
Jesus Christ.
If you
Okay.
walk back to my house, I'm gonna saw your fingers off.
They're going to saw my fingers off. All right, no.
No.
So let's read the headline of this next one.
So we have an attorney discussing how an independent contractor / employee bill in
His name will
California.
now be Harvey Birdman from
Yeah,
this point
right.
on.
Harvey Birdman, attorney at law.
He's Harvey Birdman.
Is he voiced by Michael Keaton?
Yes, he's Harvey Birdman. Fuck you. That's how we're calling this attorney.
Okay.
He is
So
Harvey Birdman.
this contractor / employee bill in California could affect WWE and AEW, and an attorney was kind enough to discuss how.
Harvey Birdman.
Attorney at law was kind enough to discuss how. If that's actually his name, I'm gonna die laughing.
Is that all we're just going to call him throughout this whole
His
article?
name is Harvey Birdman. Confirmed.
Alright.
Anyway.
And this comes to us from our.
Is he related to Owen Birdman?
No.
God, no.
And this comes to us from our colleague / rival.
Is he waited to Coco Beware? Birdman, baby!
Yeah. This comes to us from our colleague / rival, Aaron Rift over at No DQ.
He's not even a rival. Don't say
He
he's a
can't
rival.
compare to us.
Oh, wow.
He can't be stopped. Can't be moved. Can't be rocked.
When
Can't
will
be
you-
shook.
When will you bitches learn? Anyway.
That's a good way to get around it.
Yeah. Alright, so here we go. As previously
Fucking
noted,
slap the taste out of
Jesus.
your mouth. What are the 5 fingers say? Slap!
anyway, California Senate has passed the AB5 gig work bill, which could end up classifying most independent contractors as employees. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, discussed how this bill could affect WWE and AEW.
Yes, we see his actual name, but fuck you. His name is
Eric
Harvey
D. Anderson, you have just been given the appellation of a lifetime.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Ah, dangly parts.
Continue. Just continue.
AB5 is based upon the California case Dynamax vs. Superior Court of LA 2018 for Cal 5th 903, whatever that is.
Fuck, it's a goddamn code.
It codifies the court decisions and alters the labor code, especially at section 2750, I should say, sentence 3. Let's briefly look at the rules in this thread. Under California law now, any person providing labor or services for remuneration shall be considered an employee rather than an independent contractor. This section of the California Labor Code establishes that employee status is now presumed. Under the code, and not including certain exemptions, the hiring entity has to prove 3 things to be able to overcome the presumption of employment. Under the aforementioned code,
Number 1.
the person is free from the control and direction of the hiring entity in connection with the performance of the work, both under contract for the performance of the work and in fact. WWE will have a hard time making that argument.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're in Connecticut.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
continue.
2. The person performs the work outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business, whether using wrestling or entertainment. There is no valid argument that the WWE superstars are performing work outside of the WWE's usual course of business. They are the business.
Yeah.
3. The person is customarily engaged in an independently established trade, occupation, or business of the same nature as that involved in the work performed. WWE controls where their talent works, when they work, who they can speak with, and what they can wear on stage / in-ring. Now, the irony is that once upon a time, every wrestler really was an independent contractor, even as recently as 2014.
Yeah.
But now, thanks in large part to the WWE, for major companies, that is not the case. There are exceptions for certain professions in the code, including, and if the 3-part test is not applicable, then the Borello test applies. See Borello & Sons, Inc. versus Department of Industrial Relations, 1989, code following. For those thinking the WWE need not comply because it is incorporated in Delaware and based in Connecticut, think again. California law applies across the board, and WWE is also a fully registered foreign California company. They not only appear often in California, but conduct all sorts of business year-round. Do not...
Pause. Oh, Vince McMahon, you done.
He's
Fucked up now.
fucking screwed. AEW not so much because they've actually done it right. Actually,
Well, they've had one.
you know why
California show.
Jericho and other people that are full-time employees are actually employees, where independent contractors are actually independent contractors. That's the difference that I don't think anybody picked up, including Aaron Riff. And by the way, this is a great article and this is very informative, Aaron. So shout out to you for this. But I don't even think he picked up on this. People that are independent contractors, they're working a bunch of different companies. They're not solely loyal to one.
Allow me to say it like this. It means one important thing. A lot of the WWE staff need to now have some serious coverage.
Yeah.
And they are super fun.
Or maybe, just maybe, Vince,
Have some human
maybe
decency.
maybe have some human decency. And if you can't afford these guys,
Get rid of them.
maybe, just maybe, either get
Maybe
rid
that's
of them,
where they're getting the extra money from.
or
Lawsuits.
let them work other companies like your father did in the territory days. It's a fucking novel concept, you fucking mook.
So that way you can use guys when you're like, I need to do this match because the fan base that I'm from really wants to fucking see it. Because I have a certain amount of athletes that are primaries in my show because they are my homegrown guys.
And now,
I need one of your boys that's over there
anyway,
to come
let's
back.
let's read the last or paragraph. Of this.
It's pretty well a good way to sum up this entire document. Do not be surprised if we start seeing a slew of production companies owned by wrestlers pop up to try and fit into one of the exceptions provided by the law. Very similar to how many Hollywood deals work out.
I don't think it's going to be the case because unlike again, like AEW may be a multi-million-dollar company, but they
have health insurance.
They have health insurance for people that are full-time employees, and independent contractors are actually independent contractors. For example, look at MJF. MJF works AEW, MLW. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw him and his group, the
Dynasty.
the Dynasty, go to fucking Impact at some point. Like this guy is
I thought you were gonna say the
legitimately
Dynasty
an
or something.
independent contractor. Plus,
The
he works all over.
Jurassic
He works all over various different C-level
Love
indie
it.
companies
I
all
love
over the
it.
world too. So does John Moxley. John Moxley is not solely tied to AEW. He is tied to AEW, New Japan, and a bunch of C promotions, much like MJF is. Look at Tony Giovanni.
BT Dubs. Have MJF and John Moxley ever fought?
They're about to, I think. It would be very soon.
Isn't that like it has to be after his fucking foot is healed?
His elbow, I believe.
The elbow.
Yeah, I think his elbow's already healed. They think they got the fucking pus out or whatever. So he's good to go by the time TV
Grab
gets
the
around.
snake.
He's
Give him
good.
the snake.
He's good to go by the
Don't give
time
him the stick, give him the
TV
stick.
and perhaps more
Don't give him
importantly,
the
full
stick.
gear,
Full gear, yes. And he'll
which-
also be
which we will be watching.
and he also is still
Don't
the
give him the
IWGP
stick.
United States champion still.
I thought he had to
because
relinquish the belt.
I don't think so. I think
Fuck
he
you,
was
kid,
able to make
you
the
know
30-day
my
limit, so he's good now. And if they did, I assume they're going to have a rematch between
Him and Juice
Mr.
Robinson.
Moxley and Robinson, regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of that fact. Now we get on to the next one.
Which brings us back.
I'm not worried so much for AEW because I think AEW knows what they're doing when it comes to the independent contract / employee situation.
because they've got they've got the money of a football team owner combined with the mind of some of people who are primarily wrestlers.
Hey,
But
James.
you, Vince, you're fucked,
James.
buddy.
James, why do I
You're
sense Vince,
fucked.
as soon as this bill passes, he's going to look around and go, what the fuck are you kids doing on my lawn?
Hey, you know what's sad?
Don't give him the stick.
So
Give him-
NFL's like the
don't give him the
biggest.
stick.
NFL,
Whoa.
quite arguably, might be the biggest sport in the U.S. Right, country-wise.
Yeah.
So,
No, they're going to go to Saudi Arabia for more shows.
alright. But you would think that, right?
Welcome
So
to
they
Blood Money.
they are getting fucked in the ass, but they're able to make up the difference and even make extra because they produce good content for NFL fans and everything else.
Like, I love their little documentaries.
Yeah, right? Shit like that. When you have that, and then you look at WWE, what do you really have? It's a no fucking contest. It's a no contest. It's so bad, and the minute this bill passes and it fucks WWE, they're gonna lose a lot of fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean a lot of money. And I've been calling this
All right,
out.
back to Saudi Arabia we go.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to double. They're going to
And the best feels
quadruple
there.
digit it.
What?
It's
Go to
going to go
the
from
rice
2
fields.
shows a year to 4, just so they can make up the difference. I guarantee it.
Here, motherfucker.
Anyway, all that's said and out of the way, off to the next topic, and, funnily enough, back to Pro Wrestling Wanderings.
For the record, but while this article's loading, it could be worse. You could be WCW and go to North Korea.
No. No.
That's
here's-
actually a fair point.
Here's how you could be worse. You become WWE and get stuck at doing armory shows for the next 3 years.
Or he gets stuck in Dubai.
I never
You know-
never thought this is anything I would say.
Yeah.
The Rock and Roll Express are set to make their New Japan debut.
How the fuck are they still alive with the amount of cocaine
Now,
that has been
Is this the
inserted
team with
into
Ricky
their
Morton?
system?
Huh?
Is this the team with Ricky Morton?
This is the team with Ricky Morton.
Bob-
This is the guy
Bob-
that does
Bob-
the Canadian Destroyer at his fucking age.
Oh my goodness.
Bobby Gibson and Ricky Morton?
Bobby Gibson and Ricky Morton. I don't know
Now,
what
when
the
does
fuck
the-
they've done, but I
Whoa.
think they found the fountain of youth and they're hiding
But
it
wait,
from
we have
everybody.
the Rock and Roll Express. When does the Midnight Express and the Fabulous Freebird show up and Jim Cornette's dick fucking explode?
I would pay to see that.
It becomes like a missile.
You
and
would pay
flies
to
off.
see Jim Cornette's dick explode?
Fuck off! I would pay to see those 3 teams in a match together.
Again, the Fabulous
You guys
Freebirds,
could
the Rock and Roll, and
just
the
go
Midnight
back
Express.
to that and just rewind it for yourself. I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Yeah.
His dick fires off his crotch and fires into a million little dicks.
Okay, now you're just getting descriptive.
You're getting
You're too far.
You're
now.
getting a little bit too
I mean,
Oh.
if I wasn't already not
Don't give him the
monetized,
dick.
we'd be
Give him the
demonetized right now.
Yeah,
you
right?
gotta stop it. You
James,
just gotta, actually, you don't really have to, but
James,
please stop it.
James,
Pretend like we give a
James,
shit.
give him the dick. Dad, give him the dick. Oh, oh God, we gotta watch that video.
Oh, Lord.
Am I missing
Anyway.
something?
You are.
I'm on a joke.
Yeah.
You want me to read this?
Yeah,
Sure, go ahead.
for it. Yeah, because Casey read the last
There was
one.
a child making a pork chop sandwich.
Pork chop sandwiches?
Oh shit!
Get the fuck out!
Fucking great.
Continue.
How funny that
It has been announced that the Rock and Roll Express will make their debut for New Japan Pro Wrestling. They will join the Fighting Spirit Unleashed tour taking place September 27th.
They keep having an argument of which
29.
one's the Marty Jannetty.
Well, the problem is none of them have been a single star yet.
The tour
Thank fucking God.
Yeah, right.
The tour will hit Boston, New York, and Philadelphia.
Woo!
Time to go to Boston.
What?
Time to go to Boston.
Now we'll go to Boston.
September 27th.
Yeah.
I might go to me.
27 to 29.
It's rock and roll.
Limited tickets remain.
Dude, I would love to chant rock and roll.
Yeah.
I would always. Do you know how much of an honor that is to be like one of those fans to chant rock and roll for the Rock and Roll Express?
To the Rock and Roll Express. Now we just need the Midnight Express, so that way we have Jim Cornette.
They're not in this good
shit. To the
shape.
fucking roof of his house.
All right, go. Yeah, because he hasn't
fucking
finished.
tennis racket.
Continue, Nikos.
Joining the Hall of Famers will be Roppongi 3K and Lance Archer as the latest names confirmed. Limited tickets remain for the Fighting Spirit Unleashed Boston show taking place on September 27th. Tickets for the New York and Philadelphia show are sold out.
Wow.
We gotta go. We'll sneak in.
Dude, we gotta.
We'll watch from we'll hang from the rafters as they used to say in the old days.
We pass the security.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Here's how we do it.
Jack,
Give me a couple
or
sticks of dynamite and a timer.
Kuzan from, if you guys remember that, you guys remember that name. If you're OG fans of this channel, Kuzan from the Pro Wrestling Roundtable, yeah. He said he tried to go to Royal Quest. Tickets were like fucking £100 over there. That's expensive, dude.
Which translates to...
Which I think might be more.
Which translates out to about...
a little bit less, but it's still expensive.
Which translates out to about, if I remember the exchange rate correctly, about 150 American dollars.
Give me a second.
Jeez. So it is more expensive.
Pounds, dude.
New Japan value their content.
Yes.
But anyway, continue.
No, that's it.
That was it.
That
yeah.
was it.
Yeah, true. Well, there was the video of
Well, it's...
And it just basically talks about how they're going to
125.06. That's how much the tickets
So $125.06.
I don't know. It might be less because it's TV or Roku.
No, James, I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at the conversion. It's £100.
Yeah, I'm saying on this particular show it might be different because it's not a pay-per-view like Royal Quest was. That would be the only difference as
Rock
well.
and Roll Express.
I know, but
Shut the fuck up. You have one of the greatest Legends tag teams ever.
legendary tag teams.
No,
yes.
legends.
All
They
right.
are legends.
They really are.
Listen,
Next.
Why they are not already in the WWE Hall of
We're
Fame is
almost
beyond
done,
me.
guys.
Don't worry.
Two more
yeah.
topics.
Have they ever wrestled in WWE?
To my
The Rock and
knowledge,
Roll Express?
they did. To my knowledge, I
Since
thought
when?
they did in like the late 70s, early
Oh,
80s.
okay, that explains it.
They're an old team, dude.
They've been around for a very long
Again,
time.
as I said, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, and the Fabulous Freebirds are like the three fucking tag teams
From the late
from
70s,
the
early
from the
80s.
late 70s, early 80s, until the Legion of Doom show up and go, fight me in a
Pussies.
squash match, you fuck.
Yeah, right.
I'm the greatest team ever.
Yeah. Anyway, one last shot for Pro Wrestling Ponderings.
Yes.
One last shot for Pro Wrestling Ponderings.
And they're a very good news site, by the way, if you guys want to keep up to date with all the stuff that is indie pro wrestling as opposed to all the WWE stuff.
That white suit makes me want to punch him in the mouth.
Apparently, I'll take this one.
Sure thing.
Pro Wrestling Torch is reporting that New Japan Pro Wrestling General Manager Michael Craven has been moved into a different role in a different department in upper management. It was believed he would be out of New Japan, but the Torch says multiple sources have confirmed with them that Craven is not out and he has not been demoted.
But he is now hunting Spider-Man
Yes.
in New York City.
No wonder the friggin' New York show is sold out.
I don't know much about the guy because, again, we've made it very clear that we're
Still 30% off Labor Day.
I know. They are out of date. I will give them that. Guys, get your shit up to date when it comes to the ads. But I digress.
At the very least.
Get your fucking
But-
Labor Day tickets for free.
But what was I gonna say? Right.
Here, James, just
I don't know much about this guy. I don't think we really know much about this guy because again, we are the indie force. We love New Japan, what they've provided so far,
But we don't know much about their inner workings.
Yeah, we're getting.
Yeah, they're okay.
From so if anybody wants to tell us who he really
about
is,
about the only thing, yeah, please tell us who this guy is. What is his day-to-day role
Why
in the
is
company?
he famous?
But that being said, the only thing we really know about New Japan's inner workings is their dojo process.
yeah, That's about it. Is their young lion process and all that. I don't know about this guy when it comes to the actual the general manager, but from what I can tell, the guy seems young. He looks young, and he knows what the hell he's doing. He must have been the reason why he got guys like Kenny Omega and all these other guys like the Young Bucks back then, and Cody and all that to come to Ring of Honor. So I can only imagine that is why he wants to use them. And I remember too, and I couldn't believe this when I saw it. I remember the day where I remember seeing him as part of like the whole tour around that time when Cody was competing with New Japan under Ring of Honor and under the NWA banner as well, because he was the NWA champion
for all of like 2 weeks.
And and it's
2.5.
It may have been 2 weeks, but it's that visual that you had where Cody won the U.S. title, the IWGP U.S. title, and you just see him hold both the U.S.
and NWA
title, and I was like, this is really cool, even if it's only for this show.
It's like,
so I'm just saying, like, I think the guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, New Japan's obviously been in good hands with this guy.
Yeah.
And I think they're actually a general manager. I don't think they just are given that title. I think he actually is the general manager over in New Japan. I think he managed pretty much everything over there. So,
but going back to that moment really quick, when seeing Cody holding up both belts, you probably, because I did not see this match, sadly. I would like to. Is it on Daily Motion?
Yeah, it should be really, really good.
Okay. What was it? Cody versus Kenny?
Cody, I believe it was Cody versus Kenny. It might have been.
Because you mentioned the NJPW, I should say, IWGP North American title. Kenny was the first North American champion, if I remember correctly.
He was the first U.S. champion. They call it the United States Championship over in Japan. They pretty much were just like, WWE has good names. We'll take them and make them better.
Yeah, right.
And actually treat them with prestige.
And we'll make the belts better. That friggin' red strap.
Yeah, no kidding. I really like. So, I mean, that being said, we have a couple more things that we have to talk about. The final news topic being that Dustin Rhodes
and Tony Schiavone have both signed multi-year deals with AEW.
Tony also stays with MLW, much like MJF for the time being. I had a little bit of a typo, but yeah. Yay!
Glad to know Dustin and Tony are still
valued.
Excuse me.
In this day and age.
Yes.
And I mean, it doesn't kind of make sense though. At the end of the day, it's Tony Schiavone and Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
So thank God these guys are.
Now, granted, I will make jokes about both. Dustin's most famous for almost killing himself in a match, and friggin' Tony Schiavone is just Dusty without the lisp. But
yeah, I guess so.
He's also famous. Also, Tony, for the love of God, please don't say that'll put the butts in the seats, even in a good context. It won't go over. Just don't do it, or we'll roast the shit out of you on Indy Force if you ever bring that line back to life. Just say.
I don't give a shit who gives you that line. Do not
say it. Don't do it, man.
Do it.
See, he's just an anarchist. He wants you to do it so he can just roast you all day.
Do it so the Pillar Men can resurrect.
Jesus Christ. Alright. Why are you bobbing your head?
Because I'm not a Pillar Man.
Who gives a shit? Neither am I!
What freaking pose am I gonna do?
Get up on
Cheetah's
level,
looking at you with
disappointment.
Cheetah can't see shit.
She can see you.
You can't see me.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wait,
alright. And, alright,
Why is there a huge space in this couch?
So, final topic.
Wait a minute.
Oh, good, man.
We actually completed our topics, guys. It's a miracle. Final two topics. So, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Road to Destruction, which I actually have to... Mike, if you could pass me my phone, because I actually have the cards for that.
They sell gift cards now?
No, it's for the Road to Destruction tour, specifically.
Oh, somebody's getting fucking sued.
Why?
Because it's Tony Hawk.
Oh.
It's Tony Hawk Underground too.
Yeah.
No, it's Road to Destruction. Like, I don't...
The Destruction pay-per-view, I believe.
Yes, the paper.
Welcome to the World Destruction Tour.
Around the world, sick as hell skating competition that Tony and I threw together.
I don't think they'd be held to the same standard because they're not an American company.
Yeah.
They're Japan.
What are you
Anyway,
doing?
let me do this.
I'm a spokesperson.
Yeah, I'm a spokesperson now.
So,
I sign autographs.
Oh, what do you think about it, Phil?
oh wow, that's getting late, huh?
Fucking threw his dad in the van with the underwear on.
Damn it, man, tire jacks for him right out.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, who remembers Don Vito?
You guys talk about
Look
whatever.
what they did
I'm
to
sure
my
they're more
boy.
entertained by you
Look
guys
how they
than they are
massacred
me.
my boy.
Can you believe what they did? They put me
Okay,
in jail because I
here it is.
touched little girls.
Alright guys. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's true.
Alright, here we go.
That's true.
So the two big matches here
You make me angry, Phil.
that are going to be at least a part of the first Road to Destruction.
Phil, you make me angry.
Hello. Okay, do time.
Continue, please.
You're trying
Alright.
to what?
So it's as far as I know, the two big matches that everybody's going to be talking about. Oh man, it's like they never stop fighting. They never ever stop fighting.
They never ever stop.
Because Yoshihashi and Tomohiro Ishii are taking on Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the Gorillas of Destiny.
Unga bunga.
And the British Heavyweight title match again. Hey guys, guess what the match is?
Oh boy.
Just take a wild guess.
A match?
Yeah, but who's in the match?
Ospreay.
No. It's who lost the title to Hiroshi?
I don't fucking remember. That was a
Zack
week ago.
Sabre.
Oh.
It's Zack Sabre and Hiroshi Tanahashi again.
Oh, cool.
Why? Come on, man. Like, couldn't it be Will Ospreay now that you mention it? Why? Why does it have to be the same two guys? To put this in perspective, I have seen this starting from G1 Supercar.
Okay, don't take off your shirt now.
I have seen this since this very show. This has been going on all year. My God, first off, let Tanahashi rest. We've already made that fucking claim already. Second off, do we really have to keep seeing this match? Every single time?
Yes.
It's a great match,
Maybe.
but it's like, why? Why? Like,
Well, you
if
just
people are
answered-
gonna give...
Well, you just answered your own question. Because it's a great match. Every fucking time.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, true.
You answered your own question.
That's true. It is a good match. I won't
It's a
deny
damn
it,
good
but
match.
Fuck me. Even the good matches is like, there's only so many of them you can do before it's like, what the hell? How many times are you gonna fight? Just, I don't get it. Anyway, that's that. Now, I don't know much about NXT on USA because I admittedly don't have it in front of me. We don't have it in front of us. But Velveteen Dream, on the premiere episode, is set to take on Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong's a challenger. Velveteen Dream's the North American champion. It's for the title. That's going to be the main event. And I actually made this prediction on Owens' show and various other shows that Undisputed Era is going to walk away with all the gold by the end of this episode on the debut on USA.
Somehow I don't think that's going to be the place they're going to do it. If they're going to do it, I would say do it at War Games. But we'll see.
Yeah, but it is USA. There are times where if it makes sense to do it, you could do it on TV. I think there's no better time to do it than now.
Now, granted, the times...
Because they'd be waiting too long if they wait till War Games, I think. I mean, plus, you also got to think about it. If they're going to do winner take all, they have to have all the titles on the line in War Games, man. And then everything, every other match.
Well, but then the question becomes, who are they going up against?
Good question.
That's a very good question.
Let's put on our thinking caps.
Let's not do that right now. It's 1 a.m. We gotta get you guys home.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it.
Home.
Well, you know what?
Describe this.
How about you guys? Who would you like to see Undisputed Era fight in War Games if it was a winner-take-all stipulation? Let us know in the comments down below.
If you
I know
still-
who I want the Undisputed to fight. Evolution.
And I just realized we probably didn't introduce ourselves. So we're going to introduce ourselves now. Even though we were already introduced in the intro prior.
Yeah, right.
But
Yeah.
from J-Hebert,
The Indy Force Predictions Openweight Champ, the Wrestling Encyclopedia.
Heavyweight.
Heavyweight.
Fuck off.
It's heavyweight.
Fuck off, both of you.
No,
We're all
I've
heavy.
tried. It doesn't work.
Okay.
The three of us are heavy. Nikos here is, what, 185?
Not even close. Like 215 or 210.
You're still the lightest one out of all of us. You don't quite count as a heavyweight. You could
You know that
you
too.
could theoretically compete in the flyweight division.
You
Not really. I could be a light heavy.
Actually, no, he would go straight into the heavyweight division because of his height.
Yeah.
Ask him the fucking boxer.
This is the worst ending ever. I feel like we have a worse ending every single time. Okay.
Allow me, good sir. I'm the legend killer, Michael X, here with the Nature Boy, James, the Archangel.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, because we gotta transition to that ending. The Animal, Casey Gallagher, and the Game, the King of Kings, the Cerebral Assassin, Mike Nikos. We'll see you fuckers on the next podcast. See ya, motherfucker. That's gonna go right in that Nikos' face. Oh, shit. So that's a taking a hyper shit.
You should see the... James. When you put in the outro picture, they'll know.
Oh yeah, that's the whole reason why I did it like that. That's the whole reason why I did it like that.
I won't be the Game. I'll be Mega Man.
Fair enough. And